Hello, my name is Rory Toscano, and today I will be talking about the 3 projects that I picked and how I analyzed them. So these 2 sketches are from me analyzing the design of University of Arizona. When I looked at these 2 pictures, the first thing I wanted to do was break it down from the forms. I didn't look at the details and I didn't look at anything else. And when I did that, I noticed how the form in these were very soft curves. There is not a lot of sharp detail. So now I will be talking about the morphologies of these sketches. This is also the same sketch of the University of Arizona. So when I did these morphology sketches, I wanted to look at every detail of both of these pictures. Now, this image is very all over the place because I truly did try to look at every single little detail and try to put as much on there as possible. I decided overall to go with the things that I thought best described this design. When doing this, I noticed that this project in particular had the most amount of different things working together in such a small area. So these sketches are from Jianhai Giwon Park. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, but these were the form sketches. And when looking at the absolute base form, I noticed that it was very straightforward. There were arcs, there were curves, it was there. Even though most of it was organic material, which would have more of an organic form, but the way that the park did their design was making these organic materials into more geometric forms. So now on to the morphology sketches of Gwen Park. So when I looked at these, I mostly saw geometric shapes throughout the organic material. So by this I mean, if you look at the top picture, you can see that I very roughly sketched out where all the trees were, and mostly all the trees were lining the path so that you can follow the path and the trees kind of guide you into that direction. Also, there are a lot of sensory elements. Now on the bottom one, you can see how I said that there was water elements, there's vegetation elements, there's the pathway, there's built detail, there's topography, and there's a lot of sensory stuff going on in these environments for this park. Now on to the last one that I did, which was Dry Garden Poetry Design. Now this form was very, very square. Like, that was the first thing that just screams at you, is how square this design is. Now there are some elements of arc and circle and curve, but that's mostly outside of design. When you get into the actual space, like the bottom picture, you can see how rectangular and square and just very sharp this design is. Lastly, I will be talking about the morphology of this design. So in these 2 sketches, I realized that there is a lot of morphology in it, and mostly built detail and vegetation detail. So when looking at the top picture, you got some water, some light, a lot of built detail, again that sharp edge, and the vegetation detail worked within it. There's also some topography in there. The main thing that I noticed with the built detail was how much retaining walls that it used throughout it. If you look at both the sketches, they both have retaining walls. Overall, it used a lot of vegetation, water, light, and built detail to create a sensory overload in this. So now, this is my final thought. So this project allowed me to look at all of the bare minimum designs and how everything works together by looking at the basic forms and details used instead of the big picture. This helped me a lot, and I'm really glad that I was able to do this project. Analyzing pieces of artwork really helps bring in how things work together and how things should be used. Thank you so much for listening. Have an amazing day. Goodbye!